Hello and welcome back to Dave's Retro Dungeon. We have ZX81 number 5 on the table today, which needs a composite mod doing. Now this isn't a straightforward composite mod, as you will soon see. There's a little bit more involved in this one. This board is an issue 3. And it looks unmolested, doesn't look like anybody's worked on it before other than the modulator being removed. You see on the back, looks like there's been no work done on it at all, looks good to me. I'm just going to test a 5-volt rail just to make sure that that's working before we go any further. Now this is one of the ZX81s that I haven't put a new switching regulator into. No particular reason for it, just haven't done it on this one. There we go, 5 volts, looks good to me. But I found a modulator in my parts bin, which, as you can see, I'm just taking the board out of now. Undestructively. Can be used in the future in case we ever go back to RF when the nuclear apocalypse happens. Snipping off the wires so we can get out that board. And there we go, all done, clean as a whistle. We're just soldering in the composite mod now. This will be the this will be the penultimate ZX81 video from this bunch, the last one being one with a new case. It's a case that looks like a ZX81 case, but I've designed a new one from the ground up. So it's slight differences to the original, which are 3D printed. If you follow me on the socials, Bluesky or Twitter, you might have seen a picture of this particular case. However, if you haven't, the links are down below if you want to have a look at them social media posts. But that's for the next video. In this one, we're just getting the modulator can soldered into place. I don't know why I struggled with this side of it. I did do it, I just don't know why I struggled with it. There you go, hold on. Just soldering on the video lead to the RCA jack, or modulator jack, whatever you want to call it. The white wire there, as you can see, is the video signal from the board. The red wire is 5 volts for the composite mod board. The yellow wire is the video out. And the black wire that we will see in a sec is ground. Making sure that's all soldered in. There you go, all done. So now for a quick test, and this is where the extra work comes in. You will see when we switch it on, we have a white screen. And I believe it's because the ULA that's on this board is incompatible with the composite mod that I'm using. The composite mod that I'm using injects the back porch signal to make the picture visible, but it's incompatible with ULAs that produce the back porch as well, so they must conflict. ULAs that don't produce that back porch work okay with that particular composite mod. So what I'm doing here is I'm just desoldering the ULA that is in the board, and then I'm going to replace it with an older ULA that doesn't have the back porch. For next week's video, we're going to be using a different composite mod, one that works with a ULA that does produce a back porch. So we'll be reusing that one there. If you've seen earlier videos in this series, you might have seen a different composite mod that I've used that replaces the whole can. We'll be using that one next week. I'm actually using my PCB holder this week, which is making removing this chip a lot easier. I actually removed that chip without damaging any traces, so go me. Getting better at this. Just soaking up some more of the solder to unplug the holes. Comes the socket. Put some blue tape on there. Anchor it down. And away we go. So don't forget, if you've got any comments to leave on the video or any of the other videos, please feel free. Nothing is a bad comment. As I keep saying, I'm still learning with all this, so if I'm doing anything wrong, please tell me. Or if there's anything I can do better, let me know. But this ULA is an older ULA that doesn't have a back porch signal. But now eventually get it into the socket. There we go. Oh. Surprised I've ever had kids, seeing that I can't get things in the holes properly. There you go. Well done. Let's give this a test, make sure it's all okay. And there you go. Let's attend to the case. Let's get this keyboard off. The keyboard cables looked okay at first, but when I was trying to put them back in, I think they snapped. They're very old. So we've got a new membrane to put on. Just going to wipe off the glue residue. I sound a bit nasally, it's because I've had a cold this week. I'm feeling a bit rough. Here comes the big sticker keyboard. Now you're getting these backs off these stickers. Everything seems to be a struggle in this video this week. Don't know why. Hey, there you go. Got there eventually. And go to the ribbon. And goes to the keyboard. Fabulous. Put it all back together, make sure it still works. We'll get the case cleaned up and get that ZX81 painted properly on the front of the computer. And all buttoned up. But as I said earlier, the next video is going to be the last one in the series. I've got other ZX81s to fix, but those are the 6 that we started with. The next one is the last one. The one without a case. Oh, that's got a new case. And we'll be having a look at that next week. And then we'll be moving on to some Spectrums after that, which should be interesting. Everything's just such a struggle this week. Getting screws in, getting keyboard ribbons in, getting labels off, it's just all a struggle. Just getting all buttoned up. And there we go. Still works. Lovely jubbly. What I tend to do with these cases, that particularly the ones that work, I'll give them a good wipe over with some IPA, which will take off the paint that's already on there. Some people might say that's sacrilege, you shouldn't get rid of your paint, you should keep it original. But, you know, no. Get some new red enamel paint on that ZX81. There we go. Now what I tend to do with these is that I don't use a brush. I use a sharp end of a spudging tool, which helps me just guide paint onto the surface. It works a little bit like capillary action. It's a bit weird. You put the paint on the sharp end of the tool and you just touch it onto the raised surface and it just fills in. Using a paintbrush, even a very, very fine paintbrush, seems to just get paint everywhere. I'm sure if I paid out for a very expensive one, it'd be okay, but I'm not going to do that when I've got a sharp bit of plastic. And this works really well anyway. There we go. Looking good. Got the hot air gun out now to give it a bit of a dry. Oh, the spillage there on the paint on the Z. Now it is all red, as you've just seen me paint it. It looks a light shine off it in such an angle that it gives it little white streaks, but that's not actually how it is. What I tend to do with these as well is I use it's called Back to Black in the UK. It's basically a car product. You put on black bumpers and black plastics to protect them and to bring the shine and the blackness back out. I'm not sure what it's called elsewhere in the world, but Back to Black is what it's called in the UK. And it just helps bring the black plastics, just rejuvenates them, and it also gives it a bit of protection as well. So there we go. It's all done and finished. Another working ZX81. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. As I say, if you've got any comments, let me know down below. Do all the things, like and subscribe and all that type of jazz. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.